to tell you and to make you aware about another human illness that is called multiple sclerosis. Today, with me for this disease, a very renowned neurologist, Dr. Raju Agarwal, is with me. Sir, welcome to our this show, sir. Viewers, today is a multiple sclerosis awareness day. नाम ही इतना भारी है तो समझ में भी नहीं आ रहा होगा. आज मैं कम बोलूंगा और हम डॉक्टर साहब से ज्यादा समझेंगे कि ये बीमारी क्या है, इसके साइन क्या हैं और सिम्टम्स क्या हैं. डॉक्टर राजू अग्रवाल हमारे शहर में एक जाने माने न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट हैं जिनका रिच एक्सपीरियंस हम सब के लिए बहुत बड़ा एसेट है. सर इज ए एचओडी एंड सीनियर कंसल्टेंट with us at Shri Balaji Action Medical Institute. Sir, welcome to our this show and tell us about today what is multiple sclerosis which we called as a MS. उसके साइन क्या हैं, सिम्टम्स क्या हैं. सर यही क्वेश्चन मुझे आज मेरे इनबॉक्स में आए हुए हैं कि सर ये बीमारी क्या है, ये साइन क्या है, इसके सिम्टम्स क्या हैं और कैसे हम इससे ओवरकम हो सकते हैं और बचाव कर सकते हैं.
ओके, टुडे विल टॉक अबाउट मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस. हम मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस की बात करेंगे. मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस एक क्रोनिक इन्फ्लेमेटरी डिसीज है. क्रोनिक इन्फ्लेमेटरी का मतलब हुआ कि एक तो लंबे टाइम रहती है और इन्फ्लेमेटरी सूजन हो जाती है. एंड इसमें जो अटैक्स होते हैं वो इम्यून मेडिएटेड होते हैं. इम्यून मेडिएटेड का मतलब है कि हमारी इम्यूनिटी जो कि नॉर्मली वायरस और बैक्टीरिया के अगेंस्ट होती है वो अपने ही टिश्यूज के अगेंस्ट, अपने ही ब्रेन के टिश्यूज के अगेंस्ट, स्पाइनल कॉर्ड के टिश्यूज के अगेंस्ट, आई के टिश्यूज के अगेंस्ट काम करने लगती है. तो बाय डेफिनेशन मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस इज ए क्रोनिक, बल्कि लंबे टाइम चलने वाली, इन्फ्लेमेटरी मतलब कि सूजन, और रिलेटेड टू इम्यून मेडिएटेड, जो इम्यूनिटी से होती है. हमारी दो तरह की इम्यूनिटी होती है. एक तो होती है जो कि हमारे एंटीबॉडीज होती है और एक सेल इम्यूनिटी होती है, सेलुलर इम्यूनिटी. तो इसमें जो सेलुलर इम्यूनिटी होती है वो हाइपर एक्टिव हो जाती है और वो ब्रेन में और स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में उसमें सूजन क्रिएट करती है. इस बीमारी में मल्टीपल रिलैप्सेस और रिमिशन होते हैं. मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस में, मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस आर रिलैप्सिंग रिमिटिंग टाइप, जिसमें अटैक आएगा, वीकनेस आ जाएगी, सुनपन आ जाएगा, विजन में दिक्कत आ सकती है, स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में डिसीज हो सकती है, पैर का कम कर सकता है. और उसके बाद थोड़े टाइम बाद जब वो इन्फ्लेमेशन कम हो जाती है तो उससे रिकवरी भी हो जाती है. तो इसको रिलैप्सिंग रिमिटिंग टाइप कहते हैं और इसमें ज्यादातर लोग इस कैटेगरी में फिट होते हैं. इसके अलावा भी बहुत सारी कैटेगरीज होती हैं. तो इस एबनॉर्मल इम्यूनिटी की वजह से हमारे फंक्शनल डेफिसिट आ जाता है हमारे में, और जिसकी वजह से हमारा फंक्शनल डैमेज ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ टाइम डैमेज होना शुरू हो जाता है, जो कि माइलिन शीट पे होता है. माइलिन शीट होती है नर्व्स के चारों तरफ की कवरिंग, जिससे कि इंसुलेशन होता है नर्व सेल्स को, और इसमें सूजन आ जाती है जिसकी वजह से ये प्रॉब्लम आती है. इसके अलावा एक्सॉन्स और जो ब्रेन के और सेल्स होते हैं उसमें भी डैमेज होना शुरू हो जाता है. और ओवर द टाइम जब बार बार इस तरह के अटैक पड़ते हैं तो धीरे धीरे हमारा ब्रेन जो है उसमें इंजरी होनी शुरू हो जाती है और डिसेबिलिटी धीरे धीरे बढ़नी शुरू हो जाती है. तो ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ टाइम जो हमारे जो ब्रेन के सेल्स हैं वो डैमेज हो जाते हैं, ब्रेन के कनेक्शन डैमेज हो जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से डिसेबिलिटी का प्रोग्रेशन होना शुरू हो जाता है. तो कहने का तात्पर्य ये है कि मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस एक क्रोनिक इन्फ्लेमेटरी डिसीज है जो कि ब्रेन में सूजन हो जाती है ड्यू टू इम्यून मेडिएटेड रिस्पॉन्स, जो इम्यूनिटी की वजह से होती है. और ये इसके ऊपर अटैक्स आते हैं जाते हैं और ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ टाइम हमारे डिसेबिलिटी प्रोग्रेशन होने लगता है, क्योंकि वो जो डैमेज नर्व सेल्स हो जाते हैं, जो उनके कनेक्शन होते हैं, उसमें रिकवरी कई बार पूरी 100% नहीं होती, और जिसकी वजह से उनको ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वो डैमेज ही रह पाते हैं, वो रिकवर नहीं कर पाते.
तो सर ये अपना ही इम्यून अपना ही दुश्मन हो जाता है क्या, इसे ये कहना चाहिए?
एग्जैक्टली. इसमें अपनी ही इम्यूनिटी जो नॉर्मली हमारे को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए है वही हमारे अगेंस्ट काम करने लगती है, मेनली ब्रेन में और स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में और क्रेनियल नर्व. तो दैट इज व्हाट मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस इज. दैट इज हाउ वी डिस्क्राइब.
और उसकी वजह से सर क्या हो जाता है? क्या हमारे हाथ पांव शिथिल हो जाते हैं या क्या?
जो मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस में जैसे ही ब्रेन में सूजन आती है, जिस पर्टिकुलर एरिया में आएगी, जो पार्ट ब्रेन का वो कंट्रोल करेगा, मतलब कि जैसे अगर विजन में ऑप्टिक नर्व पे सूजन आई तो हमारा विजन में दिक्कत आ जाती है, हम विजन देख नहीं पाते हैं। हमारे अगर मोटर एरियाज में प्रॉब्लम आई, जो हमारे हाथ पैर को कंट्रोल करता है, तो उसकी वजह से वीकनेस आ जाती है, अधरंग हो जाता है या हाथ में वीकनेस आ जाती है। हमारे सेंसरी एरियाज में दिक्कत आती है तो हमारे में हाथ में सुनपन झुनपन आ जाता है, झंझनाहट सुनसुनाहट होने लगती है। हमारे स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में दिक्कत आ जाती है तो हमारे पैर काम करने बंद कर देते हैं और पेशाब पे कंट्रोल लूज हो जाता है। और अगर हमारे कोऑर्डिनेशन एरियाज में दिक्कत आती है, जैसे सेरिबेलम और उसके कनेक्शन में दिक्कत आती है, तो हमारे में लड़खड़ाहट और चलने में दिक्कत आनी शुरू हो जाती है, स्पीच में डिफिकल्ट हो जाती है। तो इट डिपेंड्स कि किस पार्ट ऑफ ब्रेन में सूजन आई है और उस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट के जो सिम्टम्स होते हैं वो आ जाते हैं। नाउ एज जो मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस होता है, नॉर्मली इट इज फ्रॉम एज ऑफ 20 to 50, दैट इज द एवरेज एज जिसमें ये मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस आती है। 15 साल से नीचे के भी कुछ लोगों में एमएस देखा गया है, दो इट इज रेयर, इट इज नोन एज पीडियाट्रिक एमएस। और 60 साल के बाद ये नहीं होती, लाइक दैट इज व्हाट वी कंसीडर, दैट इज ए कट ऑफ। जब भी प्रेजेंटेशन होगा, मतलब कि जब भी ये शुरू होगी, तो इट इज बिटवीन 20 to 50 ईयर्स ऑफ एज। अगर और आगे पीछे ले लें तो 15 साल से 60 साल तक ले लेते हैं। पर उसके अलावा जो मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस का इनिशिएशन होता नहीं होता है। तो देयर आर फ्यू केसेस ऑफ पीडियाट्रिक एमएस आल्सो, बट दे आर वेरी वेरी रेयर।
सर, इसमें मेल या फीमेल कोई ऐसा भी है कि जो ज्यादा वल्नरेबल है, कि मेल्स में ज्यादा होती है या फीमेल्स में?
ये जो बीमारी है ये फीमेल्स में ज्यादा होती है। इट इज नोन टू अकर इन फीमेल्स मोर देन द मेल्स। एंड द मेन जो इसका वी डू नॉट नो द कारण कि ये फीमेल में क्यों ज्यादा होती है, बट इट इज नोन दैट इट इज मोर कॉमन इन फीमेल्स हिस्टोरिकली देन इन मेल। पहले ये कहते थे कि मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस टेम्परेट क्लाइमेट में होती है। दैट मीन्स लाइक द पीपल हु लिव इन टेम्परेट क्लाइमेट, जैसे जो वो है उसमें ज्यादा होती है। इंडिया एक ट्रॉपिकल कंट्री है। पहले ये जब तक एमआरआई नहीं था तो ये कहते थे कि एमएस है ही नहीं इंडिया में, बट ओवर ए पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वी हैव सीन दैट yes, it is present in even in India. It is common, it is not so uncommon. On an average, I would see at least 4 or 5 new cases every month, which is actually which is not a small number. And there are lot of people who would present with MS. And since it is a chronic illness, so that you have those follow-ups and everything, so it is common. It is not uncommon in India. I would say it is not uncommon, and though it is not common, but yes, मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस। पर ये जो टेम्परेट क्लाइमेट्स हैं, जैसे कनाडा है, यूएस है, यूके है, इन कंट्रीज में कहीं ज्यादा होती है एज कंपेयर टू इंडिया। And it was also said that it is mainly a white Caucasian population disease, though now it is seen that it is more related to, it is seen in now Africans and Asians and population also, that it is not only that, though Caucasian population जो हम white population कहते हैं उसमें ज्यादा common होती है as compared to the
Asian population,
African Americans or Asian population. They are much more common than this. But we do see MS in India, especially from people from Punjab, Chandigarh, more common in these areas. And though it is also known in South also, like it is not that it is uncommon and we do not see cases in South also, but yes, it is there. Now, multiple sclerosis, we do not know exact what triggers body's immunity. हमें ये नहीं आज तक पता है कि what triggers immunity which causes multiple sclerosis, why one person would have it and another person would not. But there are certain genetic and environmental factors which can precipitate multiple sclerosis. So there are certain factors which are genetic in nature, and there are certain environmental factors. And when we talk of environmental factors, तो उसमें कुछ factors हैं, जैसे smoking है, whether active smoking and passive smoking both. So the active and passive smoking can it is known to cause multiple sclerosis. It is one of the risk factors. Then low vitamin D. So in India, if we get a vitamin D tested, so most of the people we find that vitamin D is low. Now, why we have an epidemic of vitamin D deficiency, we do not know, but we do see a lot of people with vitamin D deficiency, and low vitamin D is one of the environmental risk factors for multiple sclerosis. Then there is obesity. Obesity in childhood and adolescence. So if you have obesity at young age, childhood obesity and adolescent obesity would lead to multiple sclerosis in the future. So it is one of the environmental factors which is associated with it. And then there is a viral infection known as Epstein-Barr virus. Now, Epstein-Barr virus is a common virus. It is present, like we do have this. And if you have an exposure to Epstein-Barr virus, then you would, it is one of the risk factors for a multiple sclerosis. Now, there are a lot of genes which have been, identified, which is a risk factor for multiple sclerosis. There are almost 200 genes which we say they have been identified for the multiple sclerosis, but there is no specific gene which we would say this is a genetic gene deficit which would be associated. These are just association. No one gene is implicated in multiple sclerosis. So the environmental factors as well as the genetic factors have to come together along with the environment, other factors which we still do not know. We are just in process of finding out, and those factors would lead to multiple sclerosis.
Sir, क्या हम ये कह सकते हैं कि this is the modern world disease?
No, it is not a modern world disease. It is just that we now, after the advent of MRI, like MRI came into picture in 1980, late in 1980s, and India we started having a first MRI in 1990s. We started having first MRI. So with the advent of MRI, we are able to diagnose these cases faster and in live patient. Look, even CT is not around for much. Like the first CTs were in 1970, like 80s. First Indian CTs were in 80s and 90s. Even then, like you are not able to diagnose multiple sclerosis with a CT scan. So you require an MRI. So the technology has become more accessible, and that has led to more increase in number of cases. I believe that it was always there. And I don't see any, lifestyle, except for obesity, lifestyle, risk factor, which would lead to multiple sclerosis. Now, there is also something known as a familial risk. The families, it runs into families. Now, if we talk about the general population, then there is a risk of 1 by 750. That is 0.1%. So, if you talk about the general population, but if you have a first degree relative of a multiple sclerosis, then the risk become 1:40. That is almost 3%. Now, if you have a first degree relative who has a MS, so that risk would become almost 3%.
हमसे सर इसी से ही मिलता जुलता एक क्वेश्चन एक व्यूअर पूछ रहे हैं कि सर उनकी उम्र 25 साल है और उनको मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस अभी डायग्नोज हुआ है, क्या वो मैरिज कर सकते हैं?
Of course, with advent of normal life and other things, I think like marriage is not which is out of the question. It is not a disease which we say you cannot marry or you would not have active lifestyle. Of course, he has to be on preventive therapy, which we'll talk about later. But yes, of course, he can marry and he can have a healthy lifestyle and he can have a healthy life despite having multiple sclerosis. There is not some like a death warrant which is given, or it is not that you would land up with a disability all over.
Sir, it is certainly a relieving statement. It is not a death warrant. और अगर आपको कुछ ऐसी है तो आप अपने न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट के टच में भी रहें और डॉक्टर राजुल के साथ भी आप कभी भी सोमवार से शनिवार हॉस्पिटल में मिल सकते हैं.
Okay. Then we were talking about familial. So if you have a identical twin with a MS, then the chances of having MS to the identical twin almost become 25%. That means 1/4 of the people will have, and 20% of the people with MS would have a blood relative of a MS. That is 1/5. So it is also a familial disease, which tells us that there is a probable genetic underlying cause which is causing. Now coming over how we diagnose them. That is one thing which everybody wants to understand, by how do we can diagnose MS. Now, first and foremost is the clinical signs and symptoms. The clinical signs of symptoms of multiple sclerosis they would be where you are having neurological deficits which last for few days or few months and then gradually recover. So if you have a neurological deficit and which recovers over a period of time, then we diagnose any that is how we. So it is a relapsing remitting. The neurological deficit comes in. It could be anything. It could be weakness. It could be tingling numbness. It could be vision loss. It could be incoordination. It could be bladder ball involvement, or it could be any imbalance, slurring of speech. So all these neurological deficits, if they come for few days to few months and then recover over a period of time, there is a high probable that it could be a MS.
सर जो हमारे हिंदी भाषी लोग हैं सर, मैं चाहूंगा उनके लिए आप थोड़ा सा हिंदी में भी उनको बताएं कि ये सिम्टम्स क्या हो सकते हैं जो भी आपने
तो अगर किसी को हाथ या पैर में वीकनेस हो जाती है, अधरंग हो जाता है, या दोनों हाथ पैर काम करने बंद कर देते हैं, या पैर काम करने बंद कर देते हैं, या हाथ में सुन झनझनाहट सुनाहट होती है, पेशाब में कंट्रोल में लॉस हो जाता है, लैट्रिन पे लॉस पे कंट्रोल हो जाता है, चलने में लड़खड़ाहट होती है, बोलने में लड़खड़ाहट होती है, एक चीज का दो दिखाई देने लगता है, आंखों से धुंधलापन आ जाता है। तो ये जो सिम्टम्स हैं, अगर ये आते हैं, थोड़े दिन रहते हैं, कुछ महीने रहते हैं और फिर ये इंप्रूव कर जाते हैं, तो देयर इज अ हाई चांस दैट देयर इज अ पॉसिबल मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस। एंड देन ऑन एग्जामिनेशन इफ यू हैव सिम्टम्स, अगर आपको जो सिम्टम्स है उसको ऑन एग्जामिनेशन इफ यू हैव साइंस which are suggestive of multiple areas of brain involvement which have come at different time, then there is a high chance that you have multiple sclerosis. Now there are a lot of tests which we can do for multiple sclerosis. First and foremost we do an MRI, brain ka MRI होता है, magnetic resonance imaging, and that would tell us the different lesions, the different spots where the inflammation has occurred, and that is how we diagnose MS. Then we also can do some CSF examination. ये होता है रीढ़ की हड्डी का पानी करना। हमारा ब्रेन और स्पाइनल कॉर्ड एक तरल में होता है जिसको हम सेरिब्रोस्पाइनल फ्लूइड कहते हैं, और हम उस सेरिब्रोस्पाइनल फ्लूइड को एक निडल के थ्रू, जहाँ पर स्पाइनल कॉर्ड खत्म होती है उसके नीचे एक निडल डाल के उसको हम ले लेते हैं और लैब में भेजते हैं, और उसमें अगर एक पर्टिकुलर ओलिगोक्लोनल ब्लैंड्स, जो कि एक वो है बायोकेमिकल टेस्ट है, तो इस अगर वो ओलिगोक्लोनल बैंड बढ़े हुए हों तो एमएस की डायग्नोसिस काफी ज्यादा प्रोबेबल हो जाती है। और साथ में एक आईजीजी इंडेक्स होता है, दैट इज इम्यूनोग्लोबिन, जो आईजी कैटेगरी होता है उसका इंडेक्स होता है। अगर वो ब्लड और सीरम का हम कंपेयर करते हैं तो अगर वो भी बढ़ा हो आईजी इंडेक्स, तो भी हमारे को एमएस होता है। देन मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस के कुछ मिमिक्स होते हैं, कुछ और बीमारियां भी मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस की तरह प्रेजेंट करती हैं, उसके तरह सिम्टम्स होते हैं, तो हमें उन बीमारियों को रूल आउट करना होता है। जैसे ब्रेन के इन्फेक्शन हो गए, लूपस हुआ, लूपस इज डिसीज वेयर immunity not only affects the brain but it affects the other parts of the body, SLE, SLE कहते हैं उसको। And then there is another disease which immunity is, that is known as NMO. Then we have deficiencies of certain vitamins like vitamin B12, folic acid. Then there are certain diseases like Lyme disease, neurosarcoidosis, and certain metabolic condition. Now all this can present with symptoms like MS. So we have to rule them out before we can say. So this is one of the diagnostic criteria, that the symptoms of MS, जो symptoms आ रहे हैं, they should not be explained by another disease. And what are the diseases which I have told you? The infection, the SLE, the vitamin deficiency, the metabolic condition, NMO, and other familial diseases which can present in a similar way. Now, when we talk of MS and the diagnosis, it is not a diagnosis that once we have, there's a lot of negativity when we give a patient a diagnosis and they go back to Google and search MS, and there's a lot of negativity present on the net. The reason why that negativity is because of the era from where it has been, these data has come. Now, over a period of time, we have a lot of new drug and the researches which have gone into MS. And when I started my practice, that is way back in early 2000, we just had one drug for MS, and that was very, very expensive. It was 1,20,000 therapy for 1 month. Can you imagine that only 3 people in Delhi were able to afford that kind of a therapy? And it was like, we all said, okay, fine, even if we diagnose, we cannot do anything about this because the expense of this therapy. But all that has changed right now. In last 15 years, 20 years, we have around 10 to 15 new molecules for MS. There are new
That
things
is
which has come in,
relieving, sir.
and the cost of therapy has really gone down. It has gone down so much that now MS drug is available for almost 3 to 4,000 rupees per month therapy, or 5,000 rupees month therapy, which is actually really affordable. Think about that same therapy in US is costing around 70 to 80,000 rupees, which is now available in India just for 5 to 10,000 rupees. So that is the average. That is what we are taking, 1/10 of the cost, and equally effective, equally good. And these drugs and the injections which are available. And that is the fortunate part. That is the success story of MS. Now a lot of therapies are available, a lot of things are available. And then in last few years, there is talk about bone marrow transplant, along with bone marrow transplant. So now people who are not able to prevent attacks, or there is a progression over a period of time, and their medicines are not helping, the injections are not helping, these people are now going for bone marrow transplant. So that is what is really what has
Path
changed,
breaking.
a path breaking, as you can say. That is what have. Now what we would say ki how we can prevent them. That's the
सर
thing
मोस्ट
which
इम्पोर्टेंट सर, ये हमसे पूछ भी रहे हैं सर कुछ व्यूअर्स कि सर इससे प्रिवेंट भी हो सकते हैं हम क्या?
Yes, like, look, we can take care. We cannot take care of our genetics. That has been God or our family given thing to us. But yes, we can, prevent MS by taking care of ourselves. That is, avoid smoking. If you have vitamin D deficiency, then just identify and give the vitamin D. See to that you do not have childhood or adolescent obesity.
Yes.
You have a healthy lifestyle, and avoid risks of infection. Though infections, avoid infections altogether, which will help to trigger these attacks. So these attacks can be triggered by infection, both chest infections, any abdominal infection. So these attacks have to be, something which need to be taken care of, and avoid infection. So, and healthy lifestyle would help to avoid MS. And if you have MS, then it would avoid the recurrent, attacks which might come. Then there are a lot of comorbidities which can happen with MS. Like you can have heart disease, you can have stroke, you can have other diseases which can be present with MS. So having a healthy lifestyle would help to prevent these comorbidities and would lessen the complications of MS. Like if you have a MS and you land up with a heart disease also, so it is not something which you want over a period of time.
Yes.
And because of sedentary lifestyle in few patients with MS, you may land up with heart disease and stroke and other things. So that is something which we
should avoid.
We should avoid. Then we talk about there are different other types of MS. I've already talked about relapsing remitting. Then there is a primary progressive MS, where there is a progressive downhill course of the disease right from the day one. So this is a primary progressive MS. And then there is a secondary progressive, in which patients have relapsing remitting course, and they land up with a progressive downhill course. Now, one thing which I want to talk about MS, like we need to catch these MS patients early. The reason why we need to catch them early is because there is something known as a window of opportunity in MS treatment. That window of opportunity is that when patient is having initial attacks, and then we put them on medication, whether injectables, whether tablets, or whether monoclonal antibodies which are available, we catch them at that point of time. We are able to reduce the inflammatory processes in MS and we are able to bring them down to minimum. And that would prevent disability progression. Now, after a particular while, comes a time that even despite using different drugs, medication, and other things, the progression of disability keeps on happening. So we should not miss this window of opportunity in the treatment of MS. We should diagnose it early and treat it early. We need to stop MS right in its track very early on. And that is a take-home message which I want to send today. I want to tell all my viewers that if you have symptoms which are suggestive of coming and going of neurological symptoms, you have mild imbalances, you have weakness which had come in but improved over a period of time, you had some tingling numbness, if you had some vision disturbances, visual problems, if you had some weakness, chronic fatigue, which is also a common symptom with MS. You don't feel like getting up from the bed, and you have dysfunction of the bladder and bowel involvement. Then in these cases, it is better that you check out whether you have a underlying disease like MS. And if you have underlying disease like MS, you need to consult a neurologist, and you make sure that you are on disease modifying treatment. Don't leave it. Homeopathy,
Any
Ayurvedic.
alternative medicine will not help, sir.
Alternative medicine normally do not help in minutes. I've been here for a long time, lot of time when the, we were not able to afford, people were not able to afford this allopathic treatment. They used to go for homeopathic, Ayurvedic. And frankly speaking, I have followed these patients over years, and I have found that normally they do not help. Yes, we do have some garden variety of MS in which you will have mild cases, they do not have much attacks over the period of time and they have done well. We do have that kind of MS where people, it is not very aggressive kind of a disease. It is not so much. You will have few attacks over a period of few years and it will remain quiescent for most of the time. And then we have this aggressive kind of MS where you will have more than 2 attacks or more than 4 attacks in a year, and you will have rapid progression of disability. So we need to identify both these cases, even the garden variety of MS and the aggressive type of MS, the malignant one, and we need to treat them appropriately at the right time, have this window of opportunity, keep our healthy lifestyle, and we would win over MS. And as such, because it is a more of a Western world disease, a lot of research is going on in there. They have a lot of focus in there. So we would not have diseases which this is one disease which they are really focused on. So every 2 years we have a new drug which comes in and help us over a period of time. And of course, one thing I would again say is, even if you are diagnosed with MS, don't worry. It is not a death warrant. It is not a something which is there. You can have a healthy, productive life over even if you have MS. And plus, you need to be just cautious and you need to take care of your health, have healthy lifestyle, and be in touch with a neurologist who is well versed in treating MS, because then he would be able to offer you more options which are available across the board.
सर मैं अभी आपको थैंक यू नहीं बोलूंगा क्योंकि अभी हमारे पास एक व्यूअर ने क्वेश्चन भेजा है, मुझे मालूम है आपका बहुत बिजी शेड्यूल है. ही इज आस्किंग कि सर वो while having MS can he take the COVID-19 vaccination?
Yeah. I think the COVID is a raging topic right now. Everybody has his mind over COVID and we need to talk about COVID. Yes, one flat answer is yes, you should take vaccine when you have COVID. There's no contraindication that if you have if you have MS, you should not take the vaccine. Now, having said that, there are certain drugs which you are on, like immune modifying agents. So you need to check on with your neurologist when you are there, because these disease modifying agents would act on your immunity, and you need to just check on with it. Like some people in India are on azathioprine, that was one of the drugs which was prescribed earlier. It is just said that the vaccine ability becomes slightly less when you are like on azothioprine. So you need to check when you are on a disease modifying agent, but as such, MS vaccine is not a contraindication. That is a very clear guideline statement from both societies from UK and US that you need to continue your vaccine schedule as for COVID as advised for the general population. And if you have comorbidities, it should be that you should be vaccinated early. That is also.
थैंक यू सर, आज आपने हमें इतने अच्छे से आज के इस महत्वपूर्ण दिन आपने हमें साइंस बताए, सिम्टम्स बताए, ये क्या है मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस, इसके बारे में आपने ब्रॉडली हमें समझाया, और जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट आपने जो हमें बताया कि एटलीस्ट इट इज नॉट ए डेथ वारंट, बट सर्टेनली इट कैन लीड टू ए ट्रबलसम इफ यू डू नॉट touch into your neurologist. So do not get shy. Come and speak to your neurologist. And Dr. Rajul Agarwal is always available to you. If you still have any queries, you can send me on my inbox, and I can certainly try to take those things to the sir and give you the answer. Thank you, sir. But we will not leave you, sir. Next time also, we request you to tell us on some other topic, because your one awareness can teach many people that when they have to approach to the hospital. Sir, वो लोग भूल जाते हैं कि ये चीजें घर पे ट्रीट नहीं हो सकती हैं, और एक एक दिन इम्पोर्टेंट होता है. Thank you, sir, for always supporting us and to join us in this show. Thank you, sir.
And thank you, Gagan, for having me here. And I also thank all my viewers to be having patient hearing about a disease which has been slightly, in the background, which is not talked about much. But once the family have it, they, whole of the family, the world starts revolving around MS. So the people who have it, they really, get into the talk about it. And I'm always available for everybody of you, where I would like, if you want to have any queries, and even if you want to just have a chat about the disease and the diagnosis, I'm always available. Thank you very much, and thank you for patient hearing.
Thank you, sir. So viewers, next time again I will back with some other awareness day, and with some other problem, and we will discuss here on this show. Thank you.
So, thank you. Thank you.